What happened to Emmanuel and what that means to this team?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, but obviously, you don't know. Vance said, we'll know more here pretty soon. But, either way, anytime you get an injury in this league, it's tough. But, man, it's next man up. And I've said it before, and I know it's cliche, but I'm a product of, somebody getting a chance, with somebody getting injured. So, it could be a great start for somebody's career, one of these young receivers who we trust, who's been here working a long time. And Court, Deshaun, Tim Patrick, all those guys. So, what a great opportunity for those guys. Depending on, what's at stake here.
But do you have anybody that can do what Emmanuel can do?
I mean, it's like I said before. You don't really replace guys. Emmanuel, obviously one of the best guys I've ever worked with. From what I knew about him coming in, and then seeing how he worked and how he handled himself, how he led. Man, it surpassed all my expectations by far and away. And man, he's an incredible guy. And I'm not going to talk like he's gone because I've got all the trust in the world in those other guys.
So there's maybe him as well as Emmanuel Sanders to the trade, your number one and number two there. How much adjustment does that require on your part? Does it require much adjustment?
I mean, you adjust every week, based on game plan, based on what type of guys you want on different routes. And, that's what we're doing right there after practice, and during practice today is getting used to those guys running different routes. And, that's the name of this game, and that's this time of year. And, this is 2018 Denver Broncos. Nothing's been handed to us, so we're going to earn everything we get.
As a captain, do you have to say something to the locker room to keep everybody on track after something like that happens?
I might if it feels right. We got a lot of great leadership on this team, so I think guys are holding themselves accountable. But I'll say something if needs to be.
Basically, the solution is targeting Booker and Lindsey more in the passing game. What kind of faith do you have in these guys doing that?
I have all the faith in the world. Just like last week, I think you saw Book doing really well, making some really big plays, changing the dynamic of the game there on the third down and then coming right back to him on the next play. And, we all know what Phillip can do with the ball in his hands in space. So I think all those backs, Royce too, man, they're doing a great job of continuing to build their craft and not just, being guys that run the ball between the tackles.
Where have you seen Cortland grow most since being named a starter a few weeks ago?
He's grown in so many ways. I think he's doing a good job of building his route tree, his craft. I think he's doing a good job of not just being a one-trick pony, which I think he's doing a good job of being able to run all sorts of different routes. And when you're dangerous like that, you're tough to cover.
What's your relationship like with Deshaun Hamilton? How comfortable are you with him?
It's great. I love Deshaun. I was going to say we go to the movies regularly and take long walks on the beach. We split it. It's that type of relationship. We're not there yet. So we're still building. We still ask for separate checks, but I think maybe maybe here pretty soon we'll start paying for each other. So. No, he's a great kid, man, and he works his absolute tail off. Last week he didn't catch a ball, but you saw how we motioned him down there, and he's sticking his nose right in there to block those safeties from last week. So whatever we ask him to do, he's done it, and not just as a pass catcher, which he's really, really good at. And I think guy we've been trying to feature more and more, last couple of weeks. So be excited to see the last quarter of the season and the end of this year and see how he continues to develop.
Is it unusual at all that a young rookie receiver like Deshaun Hamilton is such a good route runner so early in his career? You don't usually see that, do you?
It's different for everybody. I don't have anybody to compare him to right now. We have some young guys on our team that can do a lot of special stuff, but Deshaun has come in, and one thing I guess along the lines of that question is he's not seemed like a rookie even in OTAs. He was paying attention to the huddle and knew his plays, knew his assignment. He's not really one of those guys where I have to, hey, why are you lined up over here? You got to go over here. He's on top of it. He knows what he's got. He knows his job.
How important is chemistry between a quarterback and a wide receiver? And outside of the building, is it maybe more too overrated?
I would not say so. I think there's a relationship that happens, between receivers and quarterbacks that is, it takes time in some instances, but I've been around guys too where it's like I line up and I see him run a route, and man, there's just this, this second nature, this chemistry is the right word, this, whatever you want to call it, just a communication that happens that, man, it's special when you get to that point. And, I think at certain times, certain plays, certain games, you feel different receivers get in the zone, man, you just keep looking their way, and they keep making plays for you. So I think all those guys have gotten into that zone at one point or another this year, across the board. So, I think it's a fun relationship, quarterback-receiver relationship.
So it's more so about you identifying when that's happening in a game with a certain player?
Yeah, but you try to get to that point with all your receivers as fast as you can every game. That's why you work so hard, why we come out here every day and continue to talk, continue to communicate so that the nonverbal communication happens during the game.
Even in games where Emmanuel didn't catch a lot of passes, how did he open other things up for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he got some game balls on awarded a game ball for games where I think he may have had 4 or 6 catches, and even last week some huge blocks that he's been able to put down to get guys down the field, especially Phillip on that run. I think he had a great block on that one. And then also as far as routes, sometimes you run routes to get open, sometimes you run routes to get other guys open. So the touchdown pass, the route. May have been designed, this past week for him, but, just the way they covered him up allowed, Cortland to be one-on-one on the outside. So just different things like that you, you can't really put a statistic on. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.